Today's a brand new day. Brand new day. I make a brand new start. I'm doing this for me, y'all. 1, 2, 3. I'm doing this for my heart. Today's a brand new day. Brand new day. I make a brand new start.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Fitted Reality Show. My name is Jasmine Harris. Last week we had a packed program with lots of information and loads of fun. We do hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did. This week we'll be looking at portions and examining the difference between being obese and overweight. You know what we're all about, hearing from you guys. So we went to the streets to find out what you think is the difference between being obese and overweight.
No, to me it's the same because obesity means fat, so overweight is when you gain size. It's the same.
My view on obesity is basically when the body has excess fat.
Overweight and obesity. Well, yes, there is a difference. Being overweight, obesity, obesity comes from being overweight. And the difference between being overweight and obesity?
Obesity and overweight, for me, is the same thing. They can also lead to the same thing. Eat the wrong food, junky food, the same thing.
Obesity or being obese is probably when you're extremely overweight, maybe 60 pounds or 100 pounds, maybe, yeah.
You might find your mother fat, your father fat, your grandfather fat. Is when you just lay back and getting fat. And then again, you might see somebody look overweight, but it's what a person could do with their body.
Obesity for me is a sickness. That's where you don't just eat for the sake of eating already, you just eating any and everything that's inside. That's a sickness. You can be overweight like me and still be healthy.
I can personally think overweight is like being unable to control your weight itself, but obesity is when you want to eat too much and you know you're putting on and you still want to eat more.
When you're obese, you're 380 pounds.
Wow.
And when you're being overweight, you're 180 pounds.
A person that is overweight, you would clinically say that they're obese.
Well, for me, it's extra overweight.
And I think obesity would be just past overweight, or just past extremely overweight.
Now that we've heard what you, Guyana, had to say on the topic, we're now going to go to the professionals to hear what they have to say on obesity and being overweight.
My name is Arbib Godet. I'm GMO standing for Government Medical Officer, right? I've been in practice for 3 years. 2 chronic non-communicable diseases that are pandemic, right, in the world. Is hypertension and diabetes. Obesity, right, is one of the factors impacting or directly affecting hypertension and diabetes. It's a medical condition where excess fat predisposes you to having other medical conditions, right, such as cardiovascular conditions, cardiovascular meaning heart and blood vessel conditions, endocrine conditions, diabetes mellitus. There's a relationship between obesity and osteoarthritis also. Your normal weight, right, would be 18.5 to 24.9. Overweight now, it starts with overweight. It doesn't start with obesity. After you're overweight, you're obese. After you're obese, you're extremely obese. And they also give you the adjective morbidly obese. Obesity now, it's over 30. So it's from 30, right, to 39.9. And extremely obese is over 40 of your BMI. There's not a difference in my definition because, as you can see, it's a classification of obesity that I was giving you, where overweight would be a light case or a moderate case of obesity. Because by definition, the medical definition, you're overweight, but you're still considered obese. There was a clinical trial and an epidemiological study in the United States where the obese children were presented to the emergency department with high blood pressure, right? So what they do is they studied a group of patients that were obese and they were able to control the hypertension, meaning these patients were, the age range was from 18 to 25. Right? They were obese. That was the only factor that they found, And of course the diet. If you're obese, it means it indirectly points to your diet. So they were saying that the diet and the obesity was a factor causing the hypertension in these group of children, right? From 18 to 25, a group of young set of persons, right? And they just modified their lifestyle, they modified their diet, and they gave them an exercise regime, and they were able to control the pressure, the blood pressure. You don't want to be overweight. If you can get into the ideal BMI, it decreases your risk about 10% for a cardiovascular event.
Now let's take a little look at my attire. If you're wondering, this is Pieces and Things, and my attire, you can find that at Image Nation, also located on Charlotte Street. They're obliquely opposite each other. Now for a little advice. Pay very keen attention. Get those pens and papers out because the Sterling Products trivia question can pop up at any time. Moving on. Now that we've dealt with the difference between being overweight and obesity, we're going to go straight into this week's feature, portions. Check it out.
Yes, Miss Audrey. So we are here, and if you could explain to us what we have here.
Here we have an 1800 calorie meal with fish, right? What you can have within a given day. Start with the breakfast. There's 2 slices of bread, a piece of fish, and this is an 8-ounce glass of milk. Now, instead of sitting and eating a whole big plate, 4 meals throughout the day. Around 10 o'clock, mid-morning, you'll have a mid-morning snack. It's 6 biscuits and a glass of 8 ounces of bread. Right? Then you have your lunch. Yes, your lunch. Now, if you notice, the bigger portion of the plate is vegetables, which ought to be like, right? Bigger portions, there should be more vegetables than rice and chicken. Right? Then mid-afternoon, you can have a snack as well. Okay? Then you have your dinner. Now you can make your dinner at least between 6:30 to 7. Right? Now there are times instead of having the steak or hot dog to snack, you can have a piece of watermelon or a piece of pawpaw for snack.
That was good. To taste the cherry, wow. I'll take me some of my, yes. Take a piece of fish over here. I can't speak right now, it's to die for. So Miss Audrey, we would like to thank you so much for teaching us the ways and the means how to eat healthy and it tasting good also.
You're most welcome, and I trust that you just continue in the direction.
And now for this week's trivia. I hope you've been watching all our episodes because this week's trivia is all about Adiwear and their ventilation. What degree of ventilation does the Adiwear sneakers have? Text us on 60FIT-IT. That is 603-4848 for your chance to win the Sterling Products Weekly Trivia Prize. Exercise is important, and no matter how busy you are, it should be incorporated into your life. So we're gonna head into the surprise for this week. I hope you enjoy it. Some people complain that they don't have enough time to fit exercise into their busy schedules. But today, we'll meet a man that has a responsibility as huge as the president himself, yet still finds time to exercise. Let's find out who this is. Our surprise guest for this week is none other than the Honorable Prime Minister of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Mr. Samuel Hines. Thank you so much, sir. And we're just going to walk home with him today. Let's go. So, Mr. Prime Minister, how long have you been walking home from work?
I think very soon after coming into government, I began walking maybe the odd afternoon. But over the time, I think maybe 10 years now, I've been able to walk every afternoon.
Every afternoon. So what actually motivated you more or less to actually start these walks?
Partly, I like walking, and secondly, my health issues. The doctor keeps saying you must lose weight and you must exercise.
So what are some of the steps that you actually have taken to actually keep your health in check?
Well, in addition to walking, there have been times when I go on the treadmill at home and ride a bicycle at home. I must say that I find that a little bit boring. I must prefer to walk in the street. But in addition to that, diet control, I have been eating a much smaller meal at home at dinners.
So your portions?
Yeah, smaller portions, both at lunch and often at dinner.
So you actually do your own dinners, or you have somebody that does that for you?
Well, usually it's in the fridge.
When you get home?
Take it out and heat it up.
Oh. Oh, wonderful. All right, so what would be your encouragement to persons out there to get their health in check, or in order to reduce all these chronic diseases? Because I don't know if you've heard, most persons in Guyana now are dying from chronic diseases. What is your encouragement?
Well, I would like to endorse the position of the Ministry of Health that we should all be responsible, take responsibility for our health, and exercise and diet are most important things. Staying away from smoking, drinking too much, getting enough rest. I'll endorse those calls because costs of healthcare, medical services are quite costly.
So have you seen the benefits of actually walking home?
I think I have. I've been able to keep my weight down, not where the doctor wants it to be just yet. I guess I can. For example, not too long ago, I was into Cato to see the site for the mini hydro plant on Cheong River, and we set out. Because we had to get all the vehicles together. I said, let's get going, and I kept going for about the next 4 hours, 2 hours there and 2 hours back, but also inspecting the site. So.
Wonderful. It's been lovely walking with you. I haven't walked in a long time, I must say. So this is a welcome change. I usually just go and work out in the gym, and that's about it. So I'm so happy that you actually take your health into your own hands, and hopefully by seeing that you take your health into your own hands, others would also do that as well.
Yes, I'd like to encourage all our people to be more concerned about their health and to pay attention to exercise. Make sure you get enough exercise and diet. I was reading recently, they say even sitting down to read a book, you probably should stand up every 20 minutes, walk around the room, and then sit down back, and not sit for periods, hour, 2 hours, which I still do. Sit down for 2 hours straight often. So that's also said not to be a good thing. You stand up, walk around the desk, sit down back.
Okay, well, I do hope you have a great meal ready and prepared for you tonight.
Thank you very much.
Well, that brings us to the end of the show here on Fitted TV. So until next time, this is Jasmine Harris saying, keep fit, Guyana, and watch those portions.
Fitted. Fitted. Today's a brand new day.